we welcome you to our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week from Monroe High School tonight. It's a longtime rival in the 2A, 3A Rocky River Conference. The Yellow Jackets of Forest Hills at 20-3 taking on Monroe as we take a look at the 2A, 3A Rocky River standings. Hi everyone, Kendall Lewis here with you on BahakelSports.com. Forest Hills is wrapped up the regular season, but there's a lot to play for if you're Monroe tonight. 9-2 in the conference standings. This was a good one the first time these two teams played, an 8-point differential. And this one for RPI and state playoff seeding. We'll get to that a little later as you see the conference standings. These two teams have been the cream of the crop in the league all season long. Forest Hills in the black unis, they've got the gold letters, gold trim. Monroe in the white and red letters, red numbers. And we are underway on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Kendall Lewis here with you. Plenty of young talent to go along. We'll get to that here just momentarily. Summer Jones will trigger it in. Baseline out of bounds for Monroe. This one blocked, shot altered. Goes right into the hands of McClendon. Lead feet ahead. And there's a whistle and a foul as Layla Rushing gets hacked on the arm. She'll head to the free throw line to shoot a pair for the Yellow Jackets of Forest Hills. We mentioned a 66-58 Forest Hills win. The first time these two teams played, that was back on January 23rd. As the first free throw misses wide right for Layla Rushing, who is just a freshman. There is a wealth of freshman and sophomore talent in this game. Offensive board, the stick back, yes. Ariana McClendon gets the first 2 points of the game for the Yellow Jackets. And Forest Hills on the board first. Summer Jones turns it over. McClendon the steal. Numbers for the Yellow Jackets. McClendon changing hands, couldn't finish it. And a whistle and a foul underneath. The second look at McClendon. Trying to go coast to coast. Delilah Rory trying to stick it back, got fouled. She'll shoot a pair for the Yellow Jackets. She clings the first one off. Rory just a 5-point per game scorer, but a good rebounder. 2.5 steals a game, 3 rebounds a game for Coach Brandon Raines and his Yellow Jackets. Right now, Forest Hills 11th in the 2A West rankings. Monroe number 19 in the West rankings. Jones's pass deflected out of bounds. It'll stay on this end with Monroe. Folks, pay attention. Number 30 in white, Janiyah Boyd, one of the best freshmen you'll see, regardless of classification, leading the state in all classifications, 33 points a game. And missing the bunny from close was Haley. Last touch by the Yellow Jackets. It'll stay on this end. Summer Jones, a junior who, as Coach Osborne said before, has plans to play at the next level. And this one goes back court. It's a turnover back to Forest Hills with 7:02 left to play in the first quarter. Kendall Lewis here with you on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week tonight in the Rocky River Conference. Melton flips it in, high post. Here's the kick out. Rory will try it from distance and gets fouled in the act of shooting. We'll take a second look at the replay. So Rory fouled shooting the 3. And we'll go back to the free throw line again for Forest Hills. And first one's up and pure. Just one basket from the field. A couple of made free throws. Check that, they say foot was on the line. 2 shots, missed the second. Loose on the floor, now taken away. Rushing drops it off to Melton. She missed the jumper. Rebound, Redhawks. And here comes Monroe. Janiah Boyd, ultra-talented freshman, 33 points per game, can do it all. Splits the double team. Boyd into the paint. Good dish inside. It was turned back. Second chance, yes. Desiree Haley, the first 2 points of the game for Monroe. 4-2 start. Yellow Jackets with a lead here early. Good ball movement, missing at close range is McClendon. And the Redhawks with a chance to tie or take the lead. Jones, deep three. Way off the mark. Offensive board, no. Blocked by Rushing. Numbers for Forest Hills. McClendon linking out in transition, missed the lay-in. Offensive rebound, back inside to McClendon. Missed it again from close range. And finally Monroe able to corral in the rebounds. Here comes Boyd. Boyd dribbling around the top. Looked at the three, off balance. And just off the mark. Rebound secured in by Griffin. Melton attacking and finishing. Leah Melton on the tough finish for Forest Hills, and they lead it 6-2. Just over 5 minutes to go, first quarter. Catch and shoot three on the way from Jones. Another offensive rebound for Monroe. Walters will try it from distance, and that one gets off the basket protection, out of bounds. And it will be Forest Hills basketball with just under 5 minutes left to play in the first quarter on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Open three, just off the mark that time. All the space for Griffin. And Monroe couldn't corral the rebound. It'll stay with the Yellow Jackets. Baseline out of bounds. Rory catches and fires from three and knocks it down. Largest lead of the quarter for Forest Hills at 9. Boyd pressured, had it knocked out of her hands. They say it'll stay with Monroe. And Jones will take it out. There's a substitution as Wingo checks in for the first time for the Yellow Jackets. Boyd launches from deep and hits. Janiah Boyd, her first basket of the night, comes from three-point land and trims the deficit back down to 4 here. Just over 4 minutes to go in the quarter. Kendall Lewis here with you on BahakelSports.com. We're glad you're tuned in to longtime rivals. Floater short, second chance, no. And Haley clears the boards, quickly gets it to Boyd. Janiah Boyd attacking. And gets knocked to the floor. Whistle and a foul called on Wingo of Forest Hills. That's her first. And Janiah Boyd will go to the free throw line after these messages. You're watching the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week on BahakelSports.com. With a 9-5 lead with 3:48 left to play in the first quarter. Janiah Boyd at the free throw line. Just knocked down a three right before the timeout and steps up and cashes in on the first. I mentioned this, folks, at 33.3 points per game, but 7.5 rebounds a game. She is incredible this year. It's a little bit of everything for Monroe. Just impacts the game in so many different ways. They dump it inside to McClendon. No. Tapped up from Wingo. Now it's loose on the floor. Picked up by the Red Hawks. Here comes Boyd. She'll pull up from three and hits. Janiah Boyd gives Monroe their first lead of the game here at the 3:23 mark of the first quarter. That is 8 unanswered points going back before the timeout by the Red Hawks. And we take a second look. Boyd in transition has the green light. And how about a three ball on the other end for Forest Hills? And they retake it. Boyd slithers around the top. She'll try the step back. And fouled shooting the three. Foul is on Wingo. That's her second. Picked up that foul on Boyd right before the timeout. So she's got 2 fouls. 2 team fouls on Forest Hills here in the first quarter. 3 on Monroe. And Boyd manufactures a ton of points at the free throw line for Monroe this year. You look, Janiah Boyd gets to the free throw line more than anyone else on this team, 68%, and makes all 3 that time. 13-12 lead for Monroe. Multiple lead changes already in the first quarter. Once again, folks, at Forest Hills, a perfect 11-0 in Rocky River Conference play this year. This one tapped around. Gets right into the hands of Boyd. Had it poked away. McClendon picks it up. McClendon coast to coast. Can't finish. Good tap back right to Melton. And a couple of chances from close range for the Yellow Jackets. They come away empty-handed. And Boyd turns it over. So with 2.5 minutes left to play in the first, Monroe with a 1-point lead. Forest Hills trying to retake the lead here. Melton drives in and gets fouled, and she'll head to the free throw line for Forest Hills. Off the fingertips of Haley, it went right back to Melton. Heady play, and then she was fouled going up. Leah Melton, the charity stripe, buries the first one. 68% from the stripe this year is Leah Melton. And makes them both. 14-13, Yellow Jackets by 1. Coach Brandon Rain said we will mix and match our defenses throughout the entire game. Jones off balance, tapped around, rebound Melton. Melton attacking, Melton, the finish off glass. Nicely done by the sophomore Leah Melton. Boyd gets into the paint and draws the foul. And Janiah Boyd will go back to the free throw line as you take a second look. Foul was on Rory, that's her first. Team number 3 on the Yellow Jackets as Boyd hits the first free throw. We mentioned Janiah Boyd, 33.3 points per game, but the amount of baskets she assists on per game impacts it so many ways. And that time they get 3 instead of 2 to tie it back up at 16. Through the fingertips of McClendon. Melton will try it from distance and hits. Big 3 for Leah Melton. And Forest Hills goes back up 19-16. Boyd wants the baseline. Boyd had it blocked away. Loose changed, raced down, and the finish on the other end from Layla Rushing. Largest lead of the game so far for Forest Hills at 5, 21-16, just over a minute to play first quarter. Boyd down the baseline, had the shot altered. McClendon the rebound, numbers for the Yellow Jackets. Melton the finish. And Forest Hills getting out in transition now, and a quick 7-0 burst for the Yellow Jackets and a timeout as we take a second look. Their largest lead of the first quarter here at 23-16. Get a look inside of the huddle. Brandon Raines, the head coach. This team averaging over 56 points per game. 11th in the state in the 2A West rankings right now. And Coach Raines says we're trying to improve our RPI a little bit. They've got the regular season wrapped up. Finished that off a few nights ago. They're a perfect 11-0. Monroe, on the other hand, 9-2 in the conference. One of those two came to Forest Hills the first time these two teams played. They're 19th in the 2A West rankings right now. Of course, a win here tonight would improve the Red Hawks' RPI as well heading into the conference tournament next week. Jumper way off the mark. Offensive board back up, and the finish. Deanna Walters, her first 2 points of the game. Final 27 seconds of the first quarter. Melton pressured in the corner. Rory, elbow J, just off the mark. Rebound pulled in by Monroe. Here comes Boyd. Janiah Boyd trying to split the pressure. Regathers herself, kicks it. Jones, long two. Off the back of the rim. And the first quarter comes to a close. Forest Hills with a strong finish in the final 2 minutes leads it 23-18 on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. (23-18) Yellow Jackets with a 5-point lead as we come back to you to start the second quarter. A quick three to get things going. Azaria Griffin knocks it down in an 8-point lead for Forest Hills. Jones trying to answer on the other end. Off the back of the rim, race down in the corner. Still alive. No whistle yet, as Walters was trying to get it to a teammate, Robinson. And it will stay on this end with Monroe. Here, 7:32 left to play in the first half. And Forest Hills has the top seed in the conference tournament. They have the regular season wrapped up at a perfect 11-0 coming into tonight. And a turnover Yellow Jackets basketball here with 7:32 to play, second quarter. Griffin, who just hit a three a moment ago, looked at it that time. It back out top, rushing the freshman. Surveys the floor. Melton wants the baseline. A little too tall off the fingertips of Rory and out of bounds. It'll go back to Monroe here, 45 seconds into the second quarter. Janiah Boyd got going at about the midway of the first quarter mark. Finished strong for Monroe. Misses the three that time. Rebound collected in by Griffin, and here come the Yellow Jackets. Rushing. Had it poked out of her hands and then knocked to the floor. Whistle and a foul comes in. That's the first team foul here in the second quarter. And Leah Melton will take it out. She's just a sophomore for Forest Hills. On the three from Griffin, off the mark. Boyd tracks down the loose rebound. Boyd stutter steps, gets into the paint. Boyd can't finish. Offensive board, back up, counted in the foul. Desiree Haley with a chance at three for the Redhawks. Desiree Haley, another ninth grader that is shining for these two teams this season when we talk about the freshman, sophomore classes of these two squads tonight. Six-point Yellow Jacket lead, under 7 minutes to play, second quarter. Melton, deep three. Misses short. Boyd the rebound. Numbers for the Redhawks. Boyd will pull it from deep. And a big rebound corralled in by Rushing. Rushing. Lead feet ahead. Melton attacking. Can't finish. Tapped around. Picked up by Jones. And here come the Redhawks. Boyd. Oh, sweet dish. Up the floor for two. That's Samaya Crowder. Her first 2 points of the ball game. McClendon gets tripped up. And a whistle and a foul comes in. Tell you what, Forest Hills, one thing you got to love is Coach Raines and his squad, even after a made bucket, they are getting it out of the net and getting it up the floor in a hurry. And that time, Dariana McClendon able to draw another foul at the free throw line and makes the first. McClendon's just a freshman for Forest Hills. 13 points per game as a ninth grader. I'll tell you what, these two teams are going to be two of the best teams in the 2A classification for the next couple of years to come for sure. Jones, little head fake, got into the paint, had it knocked away, taken back by Crowder, and then she missed the bunny. McClendon coast to coast, had it blocked by Boyd, who tracked it down. Janiah Boyd, coast to coast. Boyd trying to create some space, has the baseline cut off, drops it off to Crowder. Kick out Jones for three. Summer Jones, right on cue, trims the deficit down to three. Griffin into the paint. Griffin just missed the pull-up. Rebound Redhawks. Boyd skips it across. Jones again wants it from deep. And Griffin pulls in the rebound. Up the floor, rushing, attacking. Missed the floater, Melton the rebound. Back to Layla Rushing. Here's a deep three, Griffin short. And rebound pulled in by Haley. Outlet pass, Walters. One-on-one against Griffin, wild shot. Rebound Yellow Jackets here, 4.5 minutes left to play first half. Rushing. Grabs her on miss and gets fouled. Well, Layla Rushing will head to the free throw line for the Yellow Jackets of Forest Hills. Another freshman. I was talking with both of these coaches today. When you think about Leroy Osborne and Brandon Raines, excited about what the future holds. Now, Layla Rushing, one of these talented ninth graders in this game here tonight, over 10 points a game, leading the team in rebounds, 8.6 rebounds per contest, and gets the roll in the second free throw. (29-25), 4-point lead for the Yellow Jackets, approaching a media timeout at the under 4. This one intercepted. Griffin on the steal. Griffin all the way to the other end and finishes it. Lead back up to 6 for the Yellow Jackets. Janiah Boyd surveys the floor. Boyd pressured at the top, had it knocked out of her hands and a jump ball. And possession arrow will favor Forest Hills after the media timeout. 6-point lead for the Yellow Jackets here in the Rocky River Conference. We'll be right back. Here's a look at the Rocky River Conference standings. Forest Hills, as we mentioned, has wrapped up the regular season, perfect 11-0. Tonight is the regular season finale. They will be the number 1 seed in the conference tournament next week and cannot be jumped if they're unable to win the conference tournament. They will be the number 1 seed coming out of this league in the state playoffs. For Monroe, they're 19th in the 2A West rankings right now, and a chance to improve their RPI with a win here tonight and maybe improve their seeding. Now, both these teams right now slated for a couple of home games in the state playoffs and maybe more. This one's stolen away. Walters stepped in front of the pass, gets it to Boyd, who connects from 3. 31-28. Melton into the paint, extra pass. Griffin will dial it up from 3. Offensive rebound pulled in by McClendon. Rory in there on the boards, and this one's out of bounds. It'll go back to the Red Hawks of Monroe. Here with 3:20 left to play in the second quarter. Folks, we will have the second of this doubleheader later, scheduled to start at 7:30 on BahakelSports.com. Oh, sweet take from Summer Jones. And the kiss off the glass. Mini 5-0 run for the Red Hawks. Melton, floater, fouled. And Leah Melton will head back to the free throw line for Forest Hills. Foul goes against Desiree Haley. Fourth team foul on Monroe here in the second quarter. And the second on Haley of the Redhawks. And Leah Melton, sophomore at the free throw line for the Yellow Jackets of Forest Hills. And first one off the mark for Melton. Well, Leah Melton, this is her third trip to the free throw line in the first half for Forest Hills. Second one up and off the back of the rim. Rebound Janiah Boyd and the Redhawks. Boyd, step back. Off the back of the rim, offensive board pulled in. Jones a long two, rattles it home. Summer Jones, back-to-back buckets for Monroe. They lead it by one, 32-31. And a turnover. This will go back the other way. Take a second look at Jones on that last jumper to give Monroe back the lead. That's their first lead going back late in the first quarter. This one banked in. Walters from three. Back out top, shot fake, Melton into the paint. Floater no. Tapped around, last touch by the Redhawks. And it will stay on this end with the Yellow Jackets of Forest Hills. Melton shovels it off to Rory. Missed it from close range. Rebound Redhawks. Here comes Boyd. Janiah Boyd attacking. No look dish. And missing it from close range is Robinson. Second chance, no, blocked and ripped away by Miller of Forest Hills. Under 2 minutes to go first half. And through the hands of Rory and out of bounds. Get a look at Leroy Osborne, the head coach for Monroe. Guy that graduated back in the 80s. He's an assistant football coach with Johnny Sow, who we will see later on in the boys game, the head boys coach here. Coaching in multiple sports. Takeaway, McClendon leaking out in transition, and McClendon the lay-in. Back to a two-point game. And Jones gets bumped and knocked to the floor. And a whistle and a foul comes in. Take a second look. Foul will be on Leah Melton. That'll be her first. Team foul number 2. They're going to call this intentional. And Jones is going to go to the line here with 1:25 left to play in the first half. First one's up and good for Summer Jones. Makes them both. Lead back up to 4, and Monroe will get it out of bounds here. That's a big swing there, especially if Monroe can capitalize here. Could be a big 4 or 5 point swing. Jones trying to save it along the baseline and out of bounds. It'll go back to Forest Hills. .119 left to play, second quarter. Yellow Jackets trailing by 4. Good drop off down the baseline. McClendon just missed the bunny. And a fight for the rebound. And they say out of bounds. This will go back to Monroe. With 1:08 to go, second quarter. Janiah Boyd brings it across the timeline for the Redhawks. Boyd spinning, had it stolen away. Loose ball picked up by Wingo. And then a whistle comes in and a foul against the Redhawks as we take a second look. And they'll get Deanna Walters. Which will be her third. And Monroe's over the limit here, the final 54 seconds, which puts Forest Hills at the charity stripe. And first one off the back of the rim for Wingo. 9.7 points per game, 3.5 steals per game. Benajaya Wingo. And goes 1 of 2 at the line that time. 3-point lead for Monroe. Boyd facing pressure in the backcourt. Knocked out of her hands. Stolen away by Wingo. Melton, she'll try it from 3 and hits. We're tied up at 37. Boyd attacking. Boyd changing hands. Can't finish. Off glass, Desiree Haley the rebound. And out of bounds. Last touched by Forest Hills. It'll stay on this end. 30 seconds left here in the second quarter. Trying to get it back out top to Boyd. They do with 25 seconds. Boyd kicks it. Jones, deep three. Rebound Melton with 18 seconds. Melton, numbers, drops it off. Griffin, no. Offensive rebound pulled in. Back to Griffin, who goes up, can't finish. And out of bounds with 7 seconds, 7.8 to be exact. It'll stay right here with Forest Hills. Melton, the triggered in, gets it into Griffin. Game clock at 5. Now to 3. Wingo from deep. And the first half comes to a close. We've got a good one in Monroe tonight, 37-all here at the break. We'll be right back on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week right after this.
For 8 years, Scott Taylor was the man in charge on the hardwoods at Myers Park. In his 8th and final year there, the Mustangs won the most regular season games in school history and won the 4A state title. Now Taylor is the man in charge at a brand new school that did not even exist a year ago or have a gym a few months ago.
Yeah, there was a gym here, but it didn't look like this, right? The structure was in place, but even then, the first meeting that I had with Coach Pogue, our athletic director, was up there in the cafe up at the front of the school, and everything else was under construction.
Including all the athletic programs. So Scott Taylor was given a clean slate to work with when it came to starting a basketball team.
It's a different opportunity to create a bigger, broader community, and that comes with a different feel. But that's no less special. It's no less significant. It's just unique.
And as the head coach of the Ambassador Christian Lions for a short period of time and just 2 games into their schedule, Scott Taylor has already had a huge impact on his players.
Coach Taylor has been big on leadership and just teaching us the right way to play the game.
Just establishing like a new strong culture that we can carry on for years with us and after us when we leave.
Yeah, it's been awesome just being able to play for a guy like Coach Taylor. He just wants us to come into practice every day and just give 100% and then just dial that into the game.
With the Lions at Ambassador Christian, Jeff Taylor, WCCB News.
We're tied 37-all here at halftime of our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week between Monroe and Forest Hills here tonight in the Rocky River 2A, 3A split conference. Let's take a look at some first-half highlights from these two teams. There was plenty to go around. You see Leah Melton with the tough finish there in the first quarter. How about Rory knocking down a big 3 over in the corner? That was early on in the first quarter. Then Janiah Boyd got going. A deep 3 there. That was her first make from 3. And just built on it. Pulled up in transition here. And both of these teams swapped leads multiple times in the first half. And it came down late second quarter to get us knotted up at 37-all here at halftime between the top 2 teams in the Rocky River Conference. Right now at Forest Hills at one point in the second quarter had an 8-point lead. And Monroe made a bit of a push to retake the lead. Then Forest Hills able to tie it up at 37 late in the second quarter. Summer Jones was big for the Red Hawks, hit a couple of deep jump shots, and including that 3 right there. And this is the one that tied it at 37. Melton hitting the 3 for the Yellow Jackets there late in the second quarter. We're tied up 37-all. Take one more break. We've got the second half coming up right after these messages. Folks, I want to remind you, next Friday and Saturday night, we've got the NCISAA state championships from Providence Day School. We'll have the 2A private school girls and boys at 5 and 7:30, including the boys 1A, 3A, and 4A. That's next Saturday, 1, 4, and 7 start times. You can scan the barcode to watch right here at BahakelSports.com. Of course, it'll also be streaming live on the Bahakel Sports YouTube page, as well as Facebook and Twitter/X social media platforms. That is the NCISAA, the private school state championships, next Friday and Saturday right here on BahakelSports.com. Right now we've got a good one in the Rocky River Conference, tied at 37 all as we get set to begin the second half between Monroe and Forest Hills in the regular season finale for these two teams. The conference tournament will start next week. Forest Hills has secured the number 1 seed in the conference tournament next week. They're a perfect 11-0. And as we mentioned, if you weren't with us in the first half, Forest Hills is 11th in the state in the 2A West right now. Monroe 19th. So even though the Red Hawks can't secure the regular season, they can still improve their RPI for state playoff seeding tonight as we get underway here in the third quarter. And a deflection out of bounds. It'll be Monroe basketball as Summer Jones will trigger it in. Both these teams swap leads a couple of times as Boyd tries to step back and it missed everything. Out of bounds to Forest Hills. Here's 16 seconds into the third quarter. Griffin will catch and fire the three. Short, Boyd the long rebound. Janiah Boyd looking to push. Didn't have the numbers, trying to pull it out, had it tapped out of her hands. Loose on the floor. And an excellent save as Monroe keeps possession alive. Bullet pass inside and just missed by Desiree Haley. Wow, that would have given the Red Hawks back the lead. And instead, Forest Hills can strike first in the second half. Empty on the three from Melton. Nice move by Boyd there at midcourt. The step through and the finish. Janiah Boyd, just a knack for slithering into the paint, and that time finishing on the step through. Good pass inside as McClendon goes up and gets fouled. A pair of free throws coming for Dariana McClendon, another one of those freshmen for Forest Hills. And first free throw misses short. Mentioned Forest Hills won the first meeting. It was 66-58. That was back on January 23rd. Clinton on the second one up and good. A 1-point game, little full court pressure here by Forest Hills. A little token pressure as Monroe gets it across the timeline. McClendon steals it away. And now the Yellow Jackets will pull it out. Griffin catching fire from three. Spins out. Soaring in for the rebound that time was Rushing, who couldn't put it back. And Janiah Boyd takes it up the floor for Monroe. Boyd had it knocked out of her hands. Loose on the floor. Boyd trying to save it to a teammate, picked up by the Yellow Jackets. Griffin. Euro step, and Griffin traveled. Take a second look, just shuffle the feet. And it'll go back to Monroe here with 6:10 left to go in the third. We'll take a timeout. We'll keep it right here on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Get a look inside of the Forest Hills huddle for a moment there. There's a look at the standings again. Forest Hills has secured the top seed in the conference tournament, capping off the regular season a couple of days ago. And of course, as we mentioned, Monroe, the 2 seed, regardless of what happens tonight, but they can improve their RPI heading into state playoff action. And with 6:11 left to play in the third, we got a 1-point game here on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week tonight. Kendall Lewis here with you from Monroe High School. We're glad to have you tuned in from wherever you may be. Good drop off right to Crowder, but she traveled. And this will go back to Forest Hills, who can retake the lead. Let's take a second look. Leah Melton brings it into the front court for Forest Hills. Griffin catches and fires from three. And Jones just lets it trickle out of bounds. It'll be Monroe basketball with 5:47 left to play. Jediah Boyd brings it into the front court for Monroe. Boyd, deep three on the way. And out of bounds back to Forest Hills. Here with just over 5.5 left to play on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Melton, shot fake. Melton gets into the paint, can't finish. Rebound pulled in by Desiree Haley, and here comes Boyd, who gets bumped. Should be team foul number 2. On Forest Hills. And the Red Hawks will have it sideline out of bounds. Jones had the pass picked off. Wingo all alone for the easy lay-in. And Forest Hills, turning defense to offense, retakes the lead. Tell you what, Forest Hills, Coach Rain said it, that even when they've had games that they've struggled to score, their defense has traveled all year, including in the first meeting when these two teams played. (66-58) final. Boyd, on the step through, can't finish. Tough move to get to the rack, just left it short. Kick out, Melton on the other end. Extra pass, Rory will dial it up from three and connects. And a quick timeout for Brandon Raines and the Forest Hills Yellow Jackets. Take a second look to extend the lead to 4 at 43-39 here with 4:49 left to play in the third quarter. Brandon Raines in year number 3 as the head coach. Played his college basketball for Dave Davis at Pfeiffer University. He and I had an interesting conversation about that before the game earlier tonight. I spent 5 years as the radio voice at Pfeiffer, so we had some good chats about good Pfeiffer University. Leroy Osborne on the other side for Monroe has been here for a long time. We mentioned he graduated from Monroe High School back in the 80s. And along with being the head women's coach here at Monroe, helps coach football with Johnny Sowell here at Monroe High School as well. It will be Monroe basketball trailing by 4 with 4:49 left to play in the third quarter. Kendall Lewis here with you on BahakelSports.com. This one's been back and forth the entire way. We knew it would be. And a bump and a foul called against the Yellow Jackets. Let's see who they charge it to. We'll go against Leah Melton. That's her second. Team foul number 2 on Forest Hills. Dangerous pass. Quick hands by Melton. She'll take it up the floor herself. Melton, the lay-in and the foul. Leah Melton with a chance at 3. Smooth finish on the change of hands, folks, and she's only a 10th grader. And a chance to extend this lead to 7. Forest Hills had an 8-point lead at one point late in the first half. Tapped out of bounds. It's going to stay on this end with the Yellow Jackets. They go over the top on the inbound to Griffin. Off the bounce, can't connect from 3. Melton on the offensive board. Good shovel along the baseline to Griffin, who missed the bunny. Tapped around, Forest Hills gets it back. From the top, Wingo buries it. 9-point lead for the Yellow Jackets. Boyd on the other end keeps the dribble alive. Couldn't get it to go off glass. Offensive board, trying to go dump it over the top to Robinson, who had it turned back. Wingo to Rory. She'll try the 3 and hits it. Back-to-back 3s for the Yellow Jackets. Jones off balance, wild shot. Picked up underneath the basket by Desiree Haley. Now a fight for the rebound. And we got a whistle and a foul. That will go against Griffin of Forest Hills. And that'll take us to immediate timeout with 3:31. Forest Hills catching fire here late in the third quarter. They lead it by 12. We'll be right back on our base. (51-39), back-to-back 3s for Forest Hills right before the timeout as we come back to you on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Here with 3:31 left to play in the third quarter. This is the largest lead of the game from either team at this point. And our officials over chatting at the scores table. I think there may be some confusion on who the last foul was on, and then going to the scores table for the book. It is Monroe basketball with 3:31. Summer Jones will trigger it in for the Redhawks. Monroe desperately needs a bucket on this possession right here. Things starting to get away a little bit. And it's stolen away. Wingo on the steal, came out of nowhere and takes it coast to coast herself on the lay-in. Boyd had it poked away out of her hands, and it goes right back to the Yellow Jackets. And out of bounds, last touched by the Red Hawks. It'll stay on this end with us at 3:09 left to play in the third. And Forest Hills trying to build on this run here late in the third. Open look from three, no. Rebound collected in by Haley. There's a whistle and a foul. Fourth team foul on the Yellow Jackets here in the third. Keep in mind, folks, there's 3 minutes left. Jones, way off on the three. Griffin, nice pass. Oh, extra feed, and the finish for Rushing. All Forest Hills now, 16-point lead. Wild shot from Boyd, rebound off to the Yellow Jackets again, and they're off and running. Layup, no, for Melton, but she'll head to the free throw line. Take a second look. I'll tell you what, Forest Hills has beaten the Red Hawks down the floor in transition at will tonight. It's been a big difference in the game. Forest Hills getting out. You look at their 55 points tonight, there's probably a good 70-75% of those have come in transition. Melton up on the second one, it's good. 56-39. Monroe gets it into Boyd. Boyd trying to split a double team, taken away by Rory. Feeds it back, Wingo, and Boyd swats it out of bounds. Get a second look. Good recovery by Boyd. It'll stay with Forest Hills, and that's too easy. Right to Rushing, who sticks it in for two. And a steal off the inbounds. Wingo launches. Now they get it to Boyd at midcourt. Boyd gets tripped up and fouled. With 2:07 left to play in the third quarter. That's the fifth team foul on Forest Hill. So and a substitution checks in. McClendon will check in for the Yellow Jackets. And it will send Boyd to the free throw line. I was going to say that's the fifth team foul. And a chance to manufacture some points here for Monroe with the clock stopped as Boyd can't get the roll in the first. Only 2 points for the Redhawks so far in the third quarter. A 21-2 third quarter right now in favor of Forest Hills. And the second one's up and good. Wingo rejected on the long two by Haley. Jones the triggered in. Floats it over the top to Boyd, who gets it into the front court for Monroe. Trailing by 18. Boyd launches, deep three, no. Put back, no. Robinson had it right there on the doorstep. How about a third chance? And just a lid on the basket for the Redhawks. Wingo, jumper, yes. 20-point lead for the Yellow Jackets. Boyd to the hoop, finishes. 60-42 here, 1:23 to go in the third. Griffin, shot fake, no rush here if you're Forest Hills. 18-point lead. Melton inside in the finish. And Leah Melton will have a chance at three on the finish through contact. Tell you what, Leah Melton has really come alive here tonight for Forest Hills. Can't complete the three-point play. It's tapped right into the hands of Jones. Long pass up the floor, dangerous and stolen away. Wingo will pull up from three. Short. McClendon trying to corral the rebound. It's tapped out of bounds. Last touch by Forest Hills, they say, with 56 seconds. Boyd, coast to coast, lays it home. So again, just 7 points for the Redhawks here in the third quarter. Melton attacking, drops it off. McClendon, no. Offensive board Wingo, they'll pull it back out with 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Rory looked at it, long two, off the back of the rim. Boyd the rebound with 17 seconds left. And Monroe can play for the last shot here. Janiah Boyd sizing up the floor, 5 seconds. Boyd gets into the paint. And a whistle and a foul comes in, which will send Boyd to the free throw line for Monroe. And Boyd, who's been good at the free throw line tonight, came in 68% from the line, cashes in on the first. This is a chance to get it back down to 16. She misses on the front edge on the second free throw, and the third quarter is going to come to a close. 62-45. We got 8 minutes to decide a winner here in the Rocky River Conference between Monroe and Forest Hills. We'll be right back. (62-45). Forest Hills with the lead over Monroe on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Kendall Lewis here with you. We'll have the boys game coming up at about 15 minutes at the conclusion of this one, and a big three to start things off in the fourth for the Yellow Jackets, who just dominated that third quarter. As we mentioned, 28 to 8 in the third quarter. And they've got a 20-point lead now. Just a monster run for the Yellow Jackets as they try to cap things off. Griffin sets her feet from three. It pops out. Desiree Haley the rebound for Monroe. Good hustle from Wingo. She's been everywhere. Now she'll try a three. And Jones corrals the rebound and gets it to Boyd, who gets tripped up and fouled. First team foul, the fourth, comes against Forest Hills. Jones launches from three, no. Janiah Boyd back up, sticks it in for two. Griffin skips it. Rory will launch from three. Just off the mark. Spins out, but an offensive rebound, Wingo. Griffin, little shot fake, kicks it over to Melton. And Leah Melton will pull it back out with 6:26 left to play, fourth quarter. Melton, driving kick. Rory off the bounce. Rebound, Red Hawks, and pushing it. Walters had her pocket pick, stolen away. Quick hands by Layla Rushing. Melton will try it from three and buries it. And Brandon Raines wants a quick timeout. Take a second look. Leah Melton knocking it down from deep. And gives Forest Hills a 21-point lead here with 5:56 left to play. Trying to cap off a perfect conference regular season at 12-0. We mentioned Forest Hills 20 wins on the season. Just 3 losses on the year. Their last loss came against Lincoln Charter. It was a really good ball club, 49-47 earlier this week. Or earlier, a couple of weeks ago, I should say. But they have been really good. You look at Brandon Raines' crew, just 2 losses in the last month and a half of play. And they've been perfect in conference play. Well, Monroe needs buckets, and they need them fast, trailing by 21. They get it into the front court, and they turn it over. This just out of the reach of Desiree Haley. Another one of those freshmen. Both of these teams you're going to see around for the coming years. This 9th and 10th grade class, both of these teams have got virtually everyone back. Forest Hills just 1 senior on the roster. And Rory hits it from deep. And it has been all Yellow Jackets in this second half as they push their lead out to 24. Boyd gives it up to Bennett. Missed it long. Bennett goes back up and gets the roll. Griffin will try it from deep. It is raining threes for Forest Hills. Folks, to tell you what, Forest Hills, as we mentioned, 11th in the 2A West by Max Preps, could be a team that you could see make a deep playoff run in the 2A classification. This one stolen away. Melton will try the floater, nearly missing it long, tapped around. Rory picks it up, stolen back away. Justice Bennett took it away. and then tapped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Red Hawks here with 4.5 minutes left to play in the fourth. Folks, we will have the boys game coming up at about 15-20 minutes at the conclusion of this one. And out of bounds. And now we've got something going on here in the stands. And security going to come over. And they're going to stop the game here momentarily with 4:22. Well, we mentioned these two don't like each other. And there's an altercation in the stands. We'll take a break here on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. We'll be right back after this. We welcome you back here on BahakelSports.com. Little altercation in the stands as we get set to play the final 4:22 here in the fourth quarter. It's been all Forest Hills in the second half. Just a monster third quarter, as we mentioned. Built up a 21-point lead at one point. And they have not looked back from there. They've continued it here in the fourth quarter as their lead just continues to balloon here. Folks, we will have the boys game. That's about 15 minutes at the conclusion of this one right here on BahakelSports.com. Griffin will launch a deep three. Just misses off the front iron. And this one thrown right back to Leah Melton of the Yellow Jackets. for Forest Hill's just going to run out some clock here as Boyd commits a foul with 3.5 minutes left. Slicing in and drawing the foul. Rushing gets knocked to the deck. And she'll have a pair of free throws coming with 3:26 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Tell you what, this freshman class, as we mentioned, Layla Rushing, who's at the line. McClendon, who we've called her name quite a bit. Leah Melton's just a sophomore. Jaya Wingo, who's been all over the place as well tonight for Forest Hills, another freshman. I'll tell you what, talking with both of these coaches earlier before this one, very excited about their teams coming in the coming years. This one tapped loose on the floor. They get it to Boyd, who's trapped. Boyd just flips it out of the double team, and it's stolen away by Wingo. I'll tell you what, Wingo probably has 5 or 6, maybe more steals than that tonight for the Yellow Jackets of Forest Hills. Rory slicing in and finishing. And a whistle and a reach in. Foul called here with 2:44. And Rory tied up Boyd along the sideline. I'll tell you what, there's only been 12 second half points from the Red Hawks. Which in Forest Hills just put it in another gear to start the second half. As Boyd tries a long three, no, it's tapped around. And Forest Hills going to try to play out this final 2:26 here. And well on their way to capping off a perfect 12-0 regular season in Rocky River Conference play. And this would be their 21st win of the season. Just an incredible achievement for Brandon Raines, who's only in his 3rd year as the head coach for Forest Hills. And with just such a young class, they could certainly make a run to Lawrence Joel Coliseum, where the regionals and the state championships will be played this year. Melton trying to slice in. Missed it, trying to drive, and Monroe picks up the rebound. Coast to coast goes Boyd. And back up, there's a whistle and a foul as Crowder will head to the free throw line for the Red Hawks. Samaya Crowder at the charity stripe. Another 9th grader for Leroy Osborne. Coach Osborne was saying that unfortunately Monroe could not field a JV team this year. So even though he's got a talented 9th and 10th grade class, he's had to play some players that really having to step into their own as young high schoolers on a varsity level. And Melton just dribbling around the top with 1:25. And Monroe going to foul Elizabeth Dukes. who just checked in, picks up the foul for the Red Hawks. This would save, kept in bounds. Gladden picks up the block for Monroe. And jump ball called. .114 left on the game clock. Folks, once again, stay tuned with us on BahakelSports.com. About closer to an 8 o'clock start now for the boys game. As Dukes steals this one away for Monroe. Dukes goes up, tapped out, offensive board, kept alive with 102. And there's a whistle and a travel with 57.6 remaining. So Forest Hills going to improve to 21-3 on the season, and they will cap off a perfect 12-0 season in regular season play in the Rocky River Conference tonight. And as we mentioned, conference tournament play starting next week and the state playoffs on the following Tuesday. And this team here will be seeded somewhere in the top 10 or 11 seeds. 11th in the RPI right now. I think that might continue to improve, especially after tonight's win. .28.5 seconds remaining here in game one of our doubleheader tonight. And a turnover here with 22. Well, both these teams will be 1-2. This one taken away. Ava Balcom trying to lay it home, can't do so. And Balcom puts it up and gets fouled on the jump shot. And will get a pair of free throws with 8.4. And Balcom, the first free throw rolls off. Lock in with us, folks. BahakelSports.com for the boys game coming up in about 15 minutes. And the final 2 seconds going to run off here. Forest Hills completes a perfect 12-0 Rocky River regular season and improved to 21-3. The Yellow Jackets will be the #1 seed in the conference tournament next week. Monroe the 2 seed. And that'll do it for game one of our doubleheader. We'll take a break. We've got the boys game coming up here in about 15 minutes on BahakelSports.com.